Hi guys, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. I'm using the August kits. I have all of the kits you can see there, and today I'm being inspired by the mood board. Now if anyone saw my video from Friday, so literally a few days ago, I also had to be inspired by the mood board. So I had a mood board assignment twice this month, and I have created two entirely different layouts using this mood board. So that's just an interesting thing about mood boards in general, that they can be interpreted in lots of different ways. So the Friday layout was for the challenge, and then this week it's just a general mood board inspired layout. Okay, so looking at the September mood board, I very much in the previous layout I was very much inspired by the colours and by the patterns and by the items I could see, like flowers and the flags. Now this layout today, I've been inspired in a slightly different way, and I have focused almost entirely on the bottom middle image, which is a circle of yarn or twine, but it's quite a deep teal colour, so it's the only kind of really dark colour on the mood board. So I'm inspired by the darkness of that colour, and also by the fact that it's a circle, to make this really boy inspired layout. So you will see that circles feature very heavily on this. So I absolutely adore the August kits. I have two boys in my life plus my husband, so that makes three, and I have lots of boy photos. We do lots of boy things, and I don't necessarily condone that, you know, boys have to do boy things and girls have to do girly things, but it just happens to naturally be that case in our family. My two boys are really into cars and vehicles, and small worlds with police cars and police chases and that kind of thing, while my daughter's into fairies and unicorns and anything pink. So I really do have that gender divide in my house. I try to embrace both because I don't like football, but other than that I love all the boy stuff, and we have lots of fun doing boy themed things. So I always enjoy making boy layouts. So for this layout I've been inspired by circles. So you can see me there busily making circles. I have cut a number of them out of all of the fabulous August pattern papers. I've just used some metal dies to do that. That could easily be done with a circle cutter or by drawing round templates. And then I've also created three little rosettes that you can see there too. The blue one and the stripy one is done with a metal die, so a Tim Holtz die that I've had forever, and then the smaller one I manually made just using a smaller strip and my scoring tool, so really super easy. So I want to make my layout on this background here, on the dark, it's not black, it's like a navy blue, very very deep navy blue, but I should have splattered it with white paint prior to making up my little rosettes, because they take a little while to make, and then it would have been dry by now when I want to start creating my layout. But no, I didn't think of that. I have splattered my background with white paint, and I've put it to one side while I sit here and figure out how I'm going to arrange things on the background when it's dry. So I'm just temporarily using the purple background for now. I just pointed to a pattern on the mood board. So if you look at the top right image, which is a bed, one of the pillows has a chevron print on it, and it's grey. So I have the manufacturing strip from one of the August pattern papers that happens to be grey and happens to have almost the exact same pattern on. So that's why I am definitely going to use that manufacturing strip on my layout, even though initially I had not thought that I would do that. Okay, so now I'm being inspired by the straws image on the layout. I have taken some pieces of pattern paper, some of the August pattern papers, and I am rolling it to create a strip of rolled paper. So the August papers, they're exclusive, and they are high quality, which means rolling them was tricky, very difficult. It was hard to get them tight enough that they looked right, and because I'm probably being a bit silly here, because I'm trying to do such a long strip, because then I was going to cut it down, what I should probably have done was made the lengths the right size and then rolled them from there. That probably would have been an easier way to do it with such thick papers. So I'm just going to do that with this pattern that you can see there. That's the orange and blue and white and navy stripes, or kind of chevrons or triangles. You see the big circle on the layout there? It's that paper, and I just rolled a strip of it, and then I've cut it up into pieces, and I'm going to layer up those little tubes of rolled paper onto one of my circles that I have cut. So the only way to stick these is with a glue gun. I think you probably could persevere with other wet glue, but definitely the quickest option and my preferred one when doing something like this is to use the hot glue gun. So I'm just going to stick those in place, and I'm either going to use that for a basis for my photo or for a title or something like that, but something will sit on there. I won't just leave it quite as it is. It will be poking out from behind a different thing, a different layer. So the other side of that paper is a navy blue paper with some like ditzy flowers on it, and I'm going to use that navy blue for my other set of rolled papers. So again, I'm taking the difficult route and I'm rolling a really long piece of this so that I can then cut it down into the sizes that I want. But say, looking back, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Hey, I should have gone for smaller strips so they were easier to manipulate and roll into place. And it's not often that we complain about having high quality paper, but for paper rolling it's definitely easier if your paper is thinner. Same for paper folding. But I managed it, got there in the end. Managed to glue it in place with my hot glue gun, and also then I just trim it down. It also helps that the glue gun means that it's dry instantly, you know, within a few seconds, so that I didn't have to wait around for it to dry or set when I was trying to get the rolled paper to stick. So yes, I'm now just layering up those ones onto that circle that you can see there, and that's going to go kind of at the top of the layout. Yeah, my background is dry now, so I'm just going to now I'm just going to transfer all of my layout to the darker background, yeah, I like how that looks. I love the dark colour. I really wanted to, when I saw the August kits, I was just like, this is so perfect for me and my boys, that I really wanted to dig in. And then the mood board had kind of softer colours on, and I thought I should use the other colourways in the kit for that. But I'm really pleased that I actually had the mood board twice, because that gave me the freedom to then go back and interpret the mood board in a totally different way, and to create a boy themed layout, which is definitely one of my favourite things to do. I always seem to have fun with them. You know, I really love the serene, beautiful layouts of my daughter posing beautifully, being perfect and being wonderful, but the boy photos with the silly faces and the crazy poses and all the fun stuff, I just find really fun to do, so I just try to have a laugh with them. I do like pink and pretty things and glitter and things like that, but I do also really enjoy making boy themed layouts. So yeah, definitely this is definitely one that I really enjoyed making, from my favourite layout that I've made for HipKit for a while. So now I'm just positioning my circles and the bits and pieces that I've made, so the rosettes and the rolled paper pieces, just arranging those back onto the layout. Now you can see that it's a bit different to what I had on the purple one, but it's going to come together, I promise. And I'm just kind of arranging things and figuring it out on where everything's going to go. My photos are 4 tiny photos. I recently purchased one of those new selfie printers, the Q10? Selfie Q10. Selfie, it's a square anyway, and they are about 3 inches square with like a Polaroid bit at the bottom, which is quite cool. But there's an option on the app that you can print 4 small squares within your big square, so that's what I've done here, and then just cut them up to make 4 individual squares rather than a collage of 4 and kept them together. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm looking again at the straws on the mood board image, and they have the straws that are sitting in a glass, and they have banners around them, or almost washi tape around them. So, well, that's what it reminded me of anyway. So I've got the washi tape that came in the August kit, and over those two manufacturing strips that I have got going vertically down the page, which were a late addition anyway, as I mentioned before, because of the pattern, I thought that I could turn those into the straws. So they give me something to put those banners, those washi tape banners onto. So I've done 2 down the bottom, and then 2 in the middle section, and then 2 at the top, and they look really good. And this was a complete accident, really. It was only because I added in the strips of paper, and then I was thinking about the washi tape, but I had nowhere to anchor them to. But then with the strips there, I did have something to anchor them to, so that worked out really, really well. I really love how they look. They're kind of just a bit of extra whimsical fun items onto this layout. Okay, so I am just carrying on, getting things in place. My basics of my layout are there, and now I just need to just add the finishing touches, really. So I'm going through the ephemera and pulling out bits. Now this layout is pretty busy as it is. It's got this very large circular cluster in the middle, going all the way vertically down the page. So I've got 4 photos going on. So can I get much more on this layout? Well, not a huge amount. So I've just gone through the ephemera and pulled out the bits that work. I've also pulled out a puffy sticker and some other bits and pieces as well. This word RAD is going to be my title. I don't have room for a big title, and I don't really know what title I would use. RAD is as good as any title, so I was really pleased that was in the ephemera, and it was the right colour as well, because obviously I was limited by the colour scheme that I was using. So yeah, RAD has become my title, and yeah, fab. Okay, so now I'm just adding in the bits. So I've added in a couple of puffy stickers. So the peace sign with the hand over on the right, then the BU speech bubble I've put near to my left photo. And now, because I've got a real circles theme going on, I was looking for some other circular elements, and I came across the Simple Stories brads. Of course, they're circles, so I figured I would use a number of those and dot those around my layout, and yeah, absolutely. So I'm just doing that. These are real brads. They're ones that you poke a hole through your page, poke the metal bit through, and then you split them on the back, so it's like a split pin. So real brads. We've had recently in collections sticky adhesive brads, which of course are not brads. They're just metal circular embellishments, but that's what we've been calling them. But I find that they move. The adhesive is never really strong enough, and they either need to be they need to be glued on, reinforced with a better, a decent glue, or you find them later on down the bottom of your page protectors. So a real brad isn't going anywhere, so that's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. Now, if you're one of these people who the brads really annoy you because when you put them into your albums they get hooked on the other layout, then all you need to do is put a bit of sellotape, just regular sellotape or even washi, something like that, over the back where the split pin is split. Just put a bit of tape over both of those legs, or you'll normally do it with one piece, and that will solve that issue. So definitely a little tip there that is very helpful. Okay, so I also added in some enamel dots because they're circles as well, and now I'm just adding in my journaling. I struggled with where to write it because I don't get on with white pens. They never seem to work for me, so I had to use my black pen, so I couldn't write on the background. So I've gone for the blue circle at the top there and just written a couple of lines, and added my date. And then I needed a few more splatters because I'd covered up quite a lot of them, and I wanted them to be concentrated around the cluster. So I've just put a craft sheet over my photos on the middle sections, and I'm just adding some extra white paint. It's not a very good paint. Well, it's a very good paint dispenser thing. I'm just not very good at using it, so I struggle to get the splatters in the right place. Okay, so I love this layout. I really love how it turned out. It's so fun, great, air about it. I just love it. I was totally inspired by loads of things on the mood board, and I hope you can be inspired too. Don't forget that if you subscribe to Hip Kits Club, you get the main kit at a reduced price. You get 15% discount on all add-on kits, and you get access to exclusive cut files. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. That was Nikki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.